Hello and welcome to Why Can't I Meditate? I'm Deb Phelps from Peaceful Wellness, and if meditation has ever felt confusing, frustrating, or just not what you expected, you're not alone. Hi friends, and welcome to this episode. Today I want to talk about something meditation has helped me understand in everyday life. What happens when life doesn't go according to plan? Because we all make plans, right? We make schedules, we make lists, we imagine how the day is going to unfold. And then life says, oh, that's adorable. Something changes. Someone cancels. The appointment runs late. The traffic is worse than expected. The technology does not cooperate. The body has different plans. The weather shifts. The person you were counting on forgets. And suddenly, the day you had in your mind is not the day you are actually living. And sometimes the mind does not respond gently. Sometimes the mind immediately requests to speak to a manager. This is not what I ordered. I had a plan. I would like to return this version of the day. But life doesn't usually offer that option, right? And this is where so much stress comes from. Not only from what happened, but from the resistance to what happened, the argument with reality, the feeling of, this shouldn't be happening. This is messing everything up. I can't deal with this today. Well, I can tell you, I've said all of that to myself many times than I would like to count. And I do understand that because some changes are minor and some changes are deeply difficult. So this isn't about pretending everything is fine. It's not about forcing positivity. It's not about saying, oh, well, when something genuinely matters. It's about noticing what happens inside us when reality doesn't match the plan. Meditation teaches us to notice the difference between the moment itself and our reaction to the moment. There is what happened. And then there's the story, the tension, the resistance, the fear, the frustration that gathers around what happened. And sometimes that second layer becomes heavier than the event itself. The plan changes. That's one thing. Then the mind adds, this ruins everything. Now the whole day is off. Why does this always happen? And suddenly we're not just dealing with the changed plan. We're dealing with the emotional storm around the changed plan. Meditation doesn't make life go according to plan. It helps us meet the moment when it doesn't. Over the years, meditation has not made me immune to disappointment. It has not made me perfectly patient. It has not made every unexpected change easy. But it has helped me notice sooner when I'm tightening around the moment, when I'm resisting, or when I'm arguing with what already is. And sometimes that noticing gives me just enough space to soften. Not to like what happened, not to approve of it, but to meet it with a little more steadiness. So instead of asking, how do I make this day go back to the plan? We might ask instead, how can I meet the day that is actually here? And that question changes something. It brings us back from the imagined day to the real one. And this is where mindfulness becomes very practical because life is always giving us moments we didn't choose. Meditation helps us practice how we meet them. Before we move into today's meditation, here's this week's gentle practice. So I invite you to do this practice this week. When something doesn't go according to plan, pause. Take one slow breath and gently ask, can I meet this before I resist it? Can I meet this before I resist it? You don't have to like what's happening. You don't have to solve it immediately. Just notice the first wave of resistance and give yourself one breath before reacting. That one breath may not change the situation, but it may change how you meet it. Let's practice that together now. Find a comfortable position. Allow your body to settle in whatever way feels supportive. You may close your eyes or soften your gaze. Take a slow breath in and a gentle breath out. And again, breathing in and breathing out. Allow yourself to arrive here just as you are. Nothing to fix, nothing to force. Just this moment. Bring your attention gently to the breath, not changing it, just noticing. Noticing the inhale and the exhale. Now, if it feels okay, bring to mind a small moment when something recently didn't go according to plan. Not the most painful thing, not the biggest challenge, just something small. A delay, a change, an interruption. A moment that didn't unfold the way you expected. As you remember it, notice what happens in the body. Maybe there is tightening. Maybe there is frustration. Maybe there is a little resistance. Maybe nothing much happens at all. Whatever you notice is okay. Just noticing and breathing in, breathing out. Now gently ask, can I meet this before I resist it? Not forcing an answer. Not trying to make yourself feel differently. Just making space around the experience. There was the plan, and then there was what happened. And here you are, breathing, present, aware. Let Let the breath create a little room. Room for disappointment. Room for frustration. Room for uncertainty. Room for steadiness. Breathing in, making space. Breathing out, softening where you can. If the mind says this shouldn't have happened, just notice that. That is resistance, and that is human. And gently return to the breath. You might silently say, "This is what's here. This is what's here." Not as resignation, not as defeat, but as awareness. And now perhaps offering yourself a little kindness. May I meet this moment with steadiness. May I respond with care. May I remember I can begin again. And when you're ready, begin to deepen your breath, gently bringing awareness back to your body, feeling the support beneath you. Noticing the space around you, and slowly allowing your eyes to open. Friends, life will not always go according to plan, and the practice is not to control every outcome. The practice is to notice when we tighten, when we resist, when we argue with what is already here. And then breath by breath, we learn how to meet the moment we are actually in. Not perfectly, not instantly, but with a little more awareness, a little more steadiness, and maybe a little more kindness. If you'd like more personalized guidance in your meditation practice, I do offer one-on-one mentoring. And you're also welcome to join my free school community where we explore meditation together. And if you'd like a simple library of guided practices you can return to anytime, my audio meditation library on Palette is available for $5 a month. You can find all the information you need at meditatewithdeb.com. I'm Deb Phelps, and this is Why Can't I Meditate? A place where we practice meeting the moment we're actually in. I'll see you next time.